Sometimes you just need a different perspective. You ever done your devotional lying on the ground? It changes the way that you view things. Well, that's what's happening today. We're getting a different perspective. We're having to view things in a way that we never have before. Sometimes it's helpful when we're doing the thing that we've done many times over and over and over again to do it a little bit different. The life that you're living right now, you're being forced to do it differently. As we think about studying God's word, sometimes we need to do it differently. Maybe that's laying on the floor, staring up at the ceiling. Maybe it's in a different part of your house. Maybe it's in a different place, just completely different at all. So why am I on the floor? Well, it's where my $50 bill ended up. When I dropped it yesterday, it hit the floor. And yet, according to our passage today, it's exactly where I'm supposed to be. Read with me in James. We're in James chapter 1, verses 9 through 12 today. James 1, 9 through 12. Believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position, but the rich should take pride in their humiliation, since they will pass away like a wild flower. For the sun rises with scorching heat and withers the plant. Its blossom falls and its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich will fade even while they go about their business. Yet blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. The beginning of this passage in verse 9 says, believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position. Believers in humble circumstances, that was a majority of the individuals in the first church. They were individuals that had nothing. They were individuals that were lowly in standard. They were individuals that were looking for a way out. And the idea of Christianity, the hope in Jesus, gave them something they never had before. It changed their perspective on life. And this verse changes the perspective in how they should handle their lives. Believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position. They were lowly, and yet they were to take pride in their high position because now they had something they never had before. And yet those that were rich were being warned. Those that had a lot of these were being told that this is the only thing that you can take pride in, but understand that this someday will go away. As the sun comes and withers the plant, as its blossoms fall, as its beauty is destroyed, in the same way, the rich will fade. Money goes away. And yet, there's hope. Verse 12, blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. It changes your perspective. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial. Maybe you're going through a trial harder than anybody else right now. Yet this verse is encouragement. Blessed is the one who perseveres, having stood the test of time. That person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. We have a promise. In this time, we can take joy in this trial, in our humble position, because someday we will receive the crown of life. Hopefully that encourages you today. I've been encouraged by James. I'd love to hear your story. What is God doing through this time as we see him more clearly as we change our perspective? Have a great day.